Multiplication with integers. This is Bill's cipher. I use Bill's cipher to help us figure out what our product or what our quotient is when it comes to multiplying and dividing with integers. When multiplying with integers, it is a three-sign relationship. When both of your signs are the same, so if both signs are positive, or if both signs are negative, then your answer, your product, will be a positive product. If one term is negative and one is positive, so if they have opposite signs, then your product will be negative. I like to draw Bill's cipher because he helps me remember that one positive and two negatives are the trio that I need to remember when I'm multiplying my integers. So since we're talking about multiplication, I want to remind everybody that there are different ways of writing a multiplication problem. We are getting away from actually using the x when we talk about multiplication. So no more will we be writing 3 times 2 using that x. Instead, we're either going to use a circle, or on our keyboard we can use the asterisk, which is Shift 8. We can put both factors in parentheses, or we can put only the second factor in parentheses. So those are all ways to show multiplication. When we are showing multiplication with a variable, we can use the coefficient to show multiplication. The reason why we're getting away from x is because we will be using variables this year, and x is a very common variable. And it'll get confusing if x stands for both a variable and for multiplication. So for purposes of 7th grade math, we are getting away from using the x, and we're using one of these other methods to show multiplication. So this is a quick little flashcard activity that we did in class. If you are able to do the Nearpod student-paced lesson, you will see this flashcard activity and you'll be able to do it on your own. This is just a review of adding and subtracting with integers. So I asked the class, is the product of two integers positive, negative, or 0, and how can you tell? Well, we worked backwards with this question. First, we looked at integer or products that were 0. So when you multiply a number, we'll say 5, and you multiply it by something, we'll say that something is m, and the answer is 0. Well, you only have one choice for m. M has to be 0, because whenever you multiply a number by 0, you're going to end up with 0. So if I have a product that is 0, I know that one of my factors has to be 0. The other one could be a positive number or a negative number. It really doesn't matter, because whenever you multiply something by 0, the answer is 0. Then we talked about multiplying so that our answer, our product, is a positive number. Well, we know that 2 times 5 is going to be 10. Well, when you multiply two factors together that have the same sign, your answer is always going to be positive. So if I have negative 2 times negative 5, my answer will be a positive 10. So if your signs of your factors are the same, your answer is positive. But if your factors are different, let's change that color so we can see it better. If the factors are different signs, so negative 2 times positive 5, then our answer is going to be a negative number. So different signs, negative product. Same signs, positive product. We talked a little bit about addition being a quick way of doing addition, multiplication being a quick way of doing addition. So 2 plus 2 plus 2, I can rewrite that by saying 3 times 2, because I am taking 2 and I'm adding it 3 times. So I have 3 groups of 2. Because I have 3 groups of positive 2, my answer is going to be a positive 6. If I'm talking about 3 groups of negative 2, well, I have 1 group of negative 2, 2 groups of negative 2, 3 groups of negative 2. My answer is a negative 6. All right? So this shows that when you have opposite signs, 3 positive groups of a negative integer, my answer will be negative. So just to remember and to recap, a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative is going to give you a positive product. Same signs, positive product. When you have different signs, your product will be negative. So we just recapped with this little table. We filled in our values and we did it together as a class. So a positive number times a positive number is a positive answer. Positive 1 positive times positive 2 is a 2. We multiply by 0, our answer is 0. So now one of our factors is negative, so our answer is going to be a negative number. Again, one factor is negative, so our products are negative as well. So there is a Bill Cipher sign on our Google Classroom for you to download to use. I like to use Bill Cipher by covering up the signs that are in my question. So if I'm looking at this first question, a positive 3 times a negative 4. The way I use Bill is I cover up a negative sign and a positive sign because I have a negative factor and I have a positive factor. And whichever sign is left uncovered, that's the sign for my answer. For the second expression, negative 5 times negative 5, both factors are negative, so I cover both negative signs, and my answer will be positive. That's how I use Bill Cipher.